you're telling me that you couldn't get Matt Targett and Big Dan B at the back with a moderate amount of investment.
With a billionaire owner.
With a billionaire owner. He could have transformed the club without having to take blood money. And that's the most disappointing thing for me.
We talk about Newcastle and the ownership and so on, and we will continue to talk about that. And Eddie Howe sometimes not covering himself in glory in certain comments. But with regards to his coaching and what he's brought to that side, it is actually quite impressive.
I've said before, and I'll repeatedly say the most disappointing thing about having my club stolen effectively by a nightmarish regime is that a lot of the improvements in the Newcastle side and the way Newcastle are playing, it didn't need money. You're telling me that you couldn't get Matt Targett and Big Dan B at the back with a moderate amount of investment.
With a billionaire owner.
With a billionaire owner, with someone who cared about the football club. And you couldn't get Eddie Howe with promise of a little bit of investment. He could have transformed the club without having to take blood money. And that's the most disappointing thing for me.
One of the most impressive things actually about the victory is really the manner of it from Newcastle. They looked very comfortable in it. They didn't look like a team who have, gone up perhaps slightly against expectations away from home against essentially what you might deem a bigger side in the league. Their press is really good and their transitions are really impressive as well. Every time Spurs came at them, they were not just repelling it, but comfortable with repelling it and then turning it into another attack or essentially kind of setting the tempo. And it feels like there's a lot of stuff going on there, but it's also that they've got a lot of really, really standout individuals who are performing at a really high level at the moment, and everything's sort of clicking. And they go up into the top four. We said a few weeks ago, it feels like they're ahead of schedule. And I think you get a sense, especially at this point of the season, that some teams are just on a good run, whereas others are actually a kind of real long-term threat in the competition and relative to their ambitions. And I think Newcastle seem like very much like the latter.